There's some websites where he's on. A lot of it I have committed to memory, but you know, at my age, sometimes I have to have some cheat notes. So, you know, retirement is one of those things that we all dream about at some time. And you've heard me say over and over again, with the way the federal government's going, don't plan on it anytime soon. But obviously, Bill has reached the point where he's decided it's time to do something different, which is great. And hopefully all of us will get a chance to be in this position at some time. And I always wonder, how do you determine when it's time? You know, what did you use?
Grandkids growing up, spend more time at home, traveling, more time in Arizona while we're both in excellent health.
Well, there's another reason.
Oh, okay. I forgot the one that you're going to say.
I read somewhere where it's time to retire when it's longer, it takes you longer to rest than it does to get tired. And I'm reaching that very carefully. When you're in bed a lot longer than it takes to get tired, no. Then you start to cross the line there, and maybe it's time to do something a little different. Bill's been here since 2006. Back in 2006, we had 209 groups as members, and our revenue at that time was $33 million. This year, we have 229 groups, and our revenue is nearly $45 million. A lot of it has to do with assessment increase, but also a lot of it has to do with the great work that Bill and the members of the membership team have done. So I asked them to give me kind of a list of some of the companies that he brought in, and they did. And I don't have this committed to memory, so I'm going to read it. And if we're missing somebody, let me know.
I'll let you know.
Okay. CNA.
Right.
That's a big one. Hertz.
Yes.
That's a big one. Citywide.
Yep.
American Freedom. Cycle Express. Elephant. That was a big one.
That was a huge.
Lux Cars, RLI, Western National. He managed all the Farm Bureau accounts. And also Metro Bi-State Development Agency in St. Louis. And you're still working on Acuity.
Yes. Number one on the list. Not only because it begins with A.
You only have a few weeks left.
Yes, I know that. I'm going to use that too. I'm going to tell him, you know, I've only got a little time.
And Bill's also the person that, as you know, we established the LPR program, and he's the one that everybody goes to who has inquiries about the LPR program. So he's done an absolute tremendous job since he's been here. And then a couple of the notes that came out of the membership group was, most of all, he has a great attitude, a great personality, and is very upbeat and positive. Would everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Thank you. I consider that truly remarkable, since, as many of you know, he is a diehard Cubs fan. So how do you remain upbeat and positive when you root for the Cubs?
You had to start out that way, Joe.
So I did some research about the Cubs, and I have a couple notes I'd like to mention, if you don't mind.
Oh, sure.
Some major events have occurred since the last the Chicago Cubs won the World Series, which, by the way, was 1908. I know you don't remember that.
Well,
the main reason is because he was 2 at the time.
Social Security owes me a lot of money.
So here's some things that I copied down. Since the Chicago Cubs won the World Series, as you know, I'm a radical Giant fan. I've only been here 4 years, and 2 of those 4 years the Giants were the world champions. I've tried over and over again to try to convince you it's time to change your allegiance. But oh no. He and Pixie have a place down, believe it or not, down in Arizona where they go for spring training every year. And they're about ready to do that in a few weeks. And they're taking their grandson.
Yep,
right?
That's right.
I mean, that is truly diehard. But since 1908, the following things have occurred. There's a lot more, but here's some things I picked out. Radio was invented. At that time, once the radio came online, the Cubs fans got to hear their team Not me. TV was invented, so the Cubs fans got to see their team not make the play. During that time, baseball added 14 teams, so the Cub fans got to see and hear their team lose to more clubs. Since that time, Harry Carey was born and he died. So he never saw the Cubs win. 16 U.S. presidents have been elected since that time. A combination of 40 summer and winter Olympics have been held since that time. 13 baseball players have won the Triple Crown, many of them thanking the Cubs for their win. Since that time, man landed on the moon, as of several home runs given up by the Cubs pitchers. You know, there's a lot of jokes on the internet about the Cubs. Like, you know, they don't have an internet because they can't put 3 W's together. But there is one joke that, you know, since I've been here, I've noticed that, you know, usually the folks here are pretty divided. Baseball is, I mean, Chicago definitely is a sports town. And, you know, you got a lot of people are rooting for the, you know, the Bears and the Bulls and the Hawks and stuff, but it really comes down in the summertime to baseball. And so if I asked how many of you are Cubs fans, raise your hand. Your hands down. How many are White Sox fans? Raise your hand. See what I mean? I mean, it's almost divided. And I have to put up with it, of course. I root for the team that's the world champion. So you can root with whoever you want to. But I also found another story that I thought, some of you may have heard, but I thought it was kind of cute, about the Cubs. It seems that there was this school in Chicago. And the teacher, I guess it must have been on the south side, but the teacher was a diehard White Sox fan. And everybody knew it. I think it was like 4th or 5th grade. And so, you know, kids at that age are very impressionable. They want to impress the teacher. So one day, as the spring training was going on, and everybody was all excited, and she asked the class, how many of you are White Sox fans? Every kid raised their hand, trying to impress the teacher, except for one young boy. Might have been your grandson. He had his hand down. The teacher kind of said, well, Johnny, what's your grandson's name?
Wyatt.
Wyatt. Why didn't you raise your hand? He goes, well, to be honest, I'm a Cubs fan. And the teacher goes, you're kidding. You're a Cubs fan? You're down here. Everybody's a White Sox fan except for you. No, you're a Cubs fan. Why are you a Cubs fan? Well, I'm a Cubs fan because my grandpa and my grandma are Cubs fans. My mom and dad are Cubs fans. And so I'm a Cubs fan. And the teacher goes, Wyatt, you know, at some time, you got to stand up for yourself. You know, what if your mom and dad weren't Cubs fans? What if one of them was a prostitute and the other one was a drug addict? He goes, then I'd be a White Sox fan.
How about
you can substitute Dodgers and Giants or Brewers and you can substitute any team you want in there, but I thought that was kind of cool. But anyway, we want to thank Bill for his 6 years of service to NICB, and I have a couple things I'd like to get. First thing is pen and pencil set, which is an NICB
Thank you.
Tradition. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right. And the second thing is the coveted, much coveted retirement plaque, which presented to William Schroeder. Appreciation of 6 years of service. Congratulations on your retirement in 2013.
All right, thank you very much.
Still making you look good.
All right,
Keep us
So,
keep it up.
before Bill starts to cut the cake, I'll turn it over to him. And again, we can't thank you enough for what you've done for the company.
Well, it's been an honor and a privilege, and I've thought a little bit of what to say in an opportunity like this, and it all comes down to thank you folks. It's the best job I ever had. It's tough to leave, but I'm looking forward to it. Thanks again.
Make sure you stay in touch. I know you'll be
you
down
bet.
there in spring training. You know, there was a book written in 1961 called The Agony and the Ecstasy. It was about Michelangelo. Now, with a Cubs fan, you are the ecstasy of spring training and the agony right around All-Star.
We're already out of the
We're not gonna
race,
make it.
yeah, again, yeah.
But if the Giants don't win it, I hope the Cubs do.
Thank you.